I just wanted to get everybody together and talk about the last video a little bit, because we did have some strange things happen out there. And
are you talking about the last time we went out, right?
Yeah,
Right.
and
But no one's seen that till now. Well,
nope.
yeah, this will be okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this video hasn't went out, and it's been what, a couple weeks now, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
But
Okay.
when they're watching this, it comes with the video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's just talk a little bit about what happened out there. So everybody, just to give you an idea, I made the video already. I let the team see some of the video concerning some of the vocal and everything that was captured on my audio recorder, and that's what we'll talk about a little bit also. And Beata has something that happened to her, but she might not want to talk about that.
Well, it happened in the very beginning.
Look over here, and this is what we go through. And we get complaints about being noisy. And there's absolutely no way you can go through that and not make noise. It's impossible. Besides that, we know that when we make noise, they make noise, because they use us to mask. When we talk, they talk. And when we're traipsing through this, they follow us on the 10 o'clocks, the 2 o'clocks, beneath us in the triangle. We have multiple videos on that. And when we stop, it all stops. So we're going to go in, and we're going to make some noise just walking in, and let's see what happens.
So with Beata, something happened to Beata that we didn't know about. You start getting the little bit of the feeling something.
Things are different here.
Things are different. And then so we proceed on. Y'all go ahead of me. Y'all go on ahead of me.
Yeah.
I stop because something happens on my flank side. So I just stop and I just start staring at it. And what I was looking at, and everybody else went ahead of me, and I just stopped there, and I had the camera over my shoulder, and I just started staring at it. And I was like, "You sorry? You know what? I'm gonna stare you down, and I'm gonna see what you are." And so
You're not looking at anything, right?
Yeah, I'm not looking at anything. What I am seeing is a palm frond from, like, these humongous cabbage palm, huge, and it just does like this. It goes, and then nothing else moving. This frond goes like, and just kind of comes on back up like that, like a dip, and then it goes back down. And then on the opposite side, there was something else going on right across the opposite side, and I just said, I'm going to stare at you. I'm not going to film. I want to see what's fixing to happen. And something just didn't look right.
And I didn't know that.
Yeah.
None of us knew
Chris
that.
just stood there and looked like he's looking in that side.
Yes. And so you started filming.
I filmed.
I
I filmed the other side.
Yeah, and I got the camera here over my shoulder, staring at, thinking what's going to jump out of the bush right now and freak me out.
Right.
Betty
and I are up ahead by the actual creek crossing.
Yeah.
Right. I'm halfway.
Yeah.
To Chris.
Yeah. And what happens is unbeknownst to us until we reviewed the footage, and we didn't piece it all together until I heard your story, what happened to you, what you was thinking was going on, and then what I did is I went back to the audio recorder of when I was standing there by myself staring at what I thought was it. All right, what we got here is this is the short little video clip of the audio tracks that we were talking about earlier. So let me identify a couple of key points before we even start playing the tracks. The top track right here is Chris's recorder. The bottom track is Mark's recorder. They are aligned simultaneously, so as they will play, the proof is that you will hear a very slight echo sound. It will sound like it's in stereo, and that's to basically prove to you that they are perfectly aligned. This particular clip right here is the camera, and Beata was on the camera. So let me just show you what it sounds like right here. You'll hear a very slight echo.
One down. Did another tree come down?
Okay, you hear that little echo?
Since we've been here.
Right there's a little bit of an echo. So that's very perfectly.
Yeah, looks like another tree might have come down.
So it's very perfectly aligned.
Yeah, because it was on the creek.
Because that's usually where we...
Okay, so you heard it. The tracks are perfectly aligned, and so let's get down to where the masking part takes place right down here. On my clip right here, since I was doing nothing, just standing there and just watching whatever it was. So you can hear something right about here in this part right here. So I had to increase the volume right here so you'll be able to hear it better. And then we'll break it down so you'll be able to hear one track at a time, and camera as well to be able to show you. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's continue on. Everything is still unmuted. Okay, that is Betty right here, and she says, "It's a tire." Okay, there's a tire, it's a tire. So that's what she says. She's talking about seeing a tire in the creek. Okay, one more time. Okay, so remember that's with everything playing, all right? So let's go ahead and turn off Chris's. Let's mute it, all right? It goes away, you see it right there. So let's mute the camera. Okay, the camera clip is muted as well, and only Mark's clip plays. And you'll be able to hear. All right, it's much more clear. One more time. Okay, so Mark's is unmuted. Let's unmute the camera. Okay, and this is to show you how close Betty is to Mark. We'll let it spin around. And you can hear the button on the camera. And there's Beata, or Betty rather, and this shows you how close she is right here. All right, so let's go ahead and mute Mark's. Okay, and let's mute the camera. All right, and remember Chris is standing off by himself. So let's unmute Chris. All right, so remember Chris is standing off by himself, and let's hear what Chris's recorder picks up. And remember, everything's perfectly aligned. So Chris's recorder should have picked up Betty saying it's a tire. But let's see what it says. Did you hear that? I don't want to give out any suggestions, but I know what it sounds like to me. It sounds like something is calling out my name. And so one more time, here it comes. And you can hear Chris. Very interesting. I didn't hear it. I did not hear it live. There was a little bit of a breeze blowing as well, and it was kind of coming and going. But it's very interesting indeed how you can how we were successful in picking this up, simply because the two audio recorders were separated and one recorder picked up something differently than the other one. So let's proceed on with the video.
There was something way ahead of us. It went like this. Whoop. It went like whoop. He's I'm trying to hear what's ahead of us.
Okay, Chris is leading the way in, and Beata and Betty are in the middle, and I am taking up the back. And again, we do that because something almost always follows us in. And if they're going to mess with anybody, they're going to mess with me. And we'll come out that way too. Either Chris and I will be in the back and I'll take the lead. Just wanted to clarify that again. Only problem with Chris bringing up the front, or coming in the front, is that he's way shorter than I am. And he goes up under things that I normally wouldn't, because I have to get really down on the ground almost. So here we go. I'm fixing to really have to bend down to get through this. And it's and my poor old knees don't like it, and then I get crumbs caught in my backpack. Just like I said, we always get something behind us. I could have sworn I heard something right over in this area just a minute ago, and that's about our 7 o'clock position from where we're going. as thick as this is in here. Something easily could be flanking us or bringing up our rear, and we wouldn't see it. We'd just hear it or somewhat sense it. Look how thick it is.
This right here is what we call a fern swamp, and it's not something necessarily that you want to go through, because there could be a big old alligator in the middle of it all waiting. Worse yet, I can't see the ground and I'm going to possibly hit a water moccasin. That's not good. So, but if you can look at the beauty of it, it's awesome.
But usually it's not like this.
No, this is really,
This is where all the soccer stuffs are.
yeah, this is normally like a lot of sand
Yeah, this is where all the neat stuffs are.
from overflow, and it's really beautiful. So it's,
Something was faulting.
please admire it.
Just let you know.
Oh.
That's why I was trailing back there. I was doing some video and some commentary. As soon as I let you guys get in front of you,
Well, I heard something way ahead of us.
okay, I'm not surprised.
It went like whoop, like that.
I thought I heard some steps. I recorded on this some steps about our 7 o'clock back there when we were coming in, and I intentionally pulled back and did some filming, but
Well, that's what I got the FLIR here for, because we're
Yeah.
going to let the FLIR be the booby trap,
hell yeah.
and we'll let the FLIR point off canter. We'll leave it behind.
Okay. All right.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave this $6,000 camera behind.
Okay. Here we go.
Are you like leaving it, or are we coming back?
No,
to
we're
get it?
coming back to get it.
Okay.
We'll come out this way.
Who's gonna say?
That's really thick to go through.
Yeah, that's usually not that thick.
No.
That's
Watch your step.
But I don't think there's anybody here.
I'm not muted. Who said I was here?
All right, so get ready to slow it down, so get ready. And there he goes. He pops out and pulls back. That was pretty quick, I will say that. Nosy guy, that was for sure. And look how small I am in this pic right here. Look at the size of my head compared to that thing. Very interesting.
So Chris is going to put the FLIR on a tripod and just going to watch while we go deeper, and then we will come back and grab it on our way out. He made the comment that it's his $6,000 camera, but I don't think there's anybody in here human. There. You see his hand probably down behind the tree. That's not a squatch.
Flying? Straight ahead. Is that 100 flying? What? Okay.
See? Betty, you want to say hi to everybody?
It's pretty lush in here.
It is. I kind of like it.
It's different. Usually it's
It's usually very sandy and very bare.
yeah, it's like
in
it's
the
the beach
winter.
area. It's what
But,
we call
yeah,
the beach
but-
area.
It's overgrown right now, and in the summer when it starts raining, it'll all flood. So there's Bayada with the other camera. Man, you would think with all this mud that we would get some prints, but prints are few and far behind in our swamp here. No luck, Chris?
A lot of webs.
I figured you were looking for a place to put that, so.
That almost looks like a footprint down there, but
I was just commenting that footprints are few and far behind in the swamp area. Now in this area in the past we've got thuds, knocks. We got some significant thuds, and thud is what this sounds like, a big old bag of cement just falling on the ground. And we got some in here once previously. Chris thought I had fallen. He always first thinks the old man's fallen, but it wasn't. I had not fallen. And there were several. And see how clear this water is compared to that black water back there. I would think this is probably from a spring that's coming up out of the ground. So Chris is deploying the FLIR, and we're kind of putting it out across this grassy area and letting it watch the fringe to see if anything moves around back there, and we'll move on in the opposite direction.
there it is. You can see it. So we're just going to keep it kind of catty corner or heading at about 8 o'clock.
All right.
Kind of an oblique from our direction it's heading.
Yeah, because that's how it works.
Kind of see if anything is lurking about behind us, on, like Mark said, on the fringes. If we might get a hot
spot.
a signature or something moving. I don't know. It's a long shot. But we're leaving a $6,000 camera behind.
We keep saying that.
Cross your fingers.
I told everybody there's no human but us out here.
I say huge
But
human.
there could be other things.
I'm not human.
And yeah, so if we see any shadowy figures on the FLIR that ain't hot, well then you know what it is.
All right.
Or then we know what it's not.
I do realize my leg won't spread that far.
Betty, you shouldn't say that on camera.
That wouldn't have been good.
Well, you did already, so
I did?
I had the camera running when
Oh,
you said
shit.
that.
Oh shit, Chris, you're gonna have to clean up.
Is that just a puddle?
Phil David out.
Is that just a puddle or something?
Well, let me get up here with my expert eyes.
Don't walk in the trackway.
All right, let me get back.
It could be just the way it is. You know? But look how clean that water is, man.
I don't know, Chris. It looks much narrower.
Could be just terrain and mud flows.
It could be, but I will say,
Look at that. That spring water there.
yeah. I will say this, it's much narrower down here than it is up here. It's narrower right
Like a heel.
here.
Like a right.
This is the heel,
Like a right.
and
heel.
that up there is more, looks like a right print.
This is all
Let me
spring
put
fed.
my boot up there by it. If I go all the way back here, I'm 13. You're looking at,
Yeah.
18 inches.
So did something jump the creek or
Yeah.
walk through the creek?
You're walking this way along it.
I would think maybe in the creek.
Yeah. If it's what
If
we.
it's what we think it is.
But I feel like it's worth looking at because you've got a little
Yeah, I
bend
noticed
down here,
it's
and
narrow.
it's wider up here
It's narrow
than
and
it is, and it's narrow back here. So
then maybe
it's
whatever.
good looking at.
It's just a little suggestion that maybe something took the path of the creek.
I don't see anything this direction.
Watch all these rocks. Snake haven.
I'm trying to zoom in anything that I see what's darker.
They ought
Far
to
away, I'm kind of zooming.
walking in front of me, and I heard something in that direction, a snap or a crunch or something. Always behind us, following us in. And all of a sudden, Bayala just turns around to me and she says, "Film me. I have something to say."
Right.
And I'm like, "What the hell?" You
Well,
know?
the thing was, it happened in the very beginning, and then I went over it in my head, like, well, can I do this? Is it duplicating, or will it? And you go, and I'm like,
It's because we try to talk ourselves
Out
out
of
of
it.
what we see and hear. Because it's just bizarre, or it's uncommon, or
Yeah.
you're always second guessing things because no, I didn't hear
And I
that.
think you say this on the say. You say, if I don't say anything, Chris will
Right.
say, "Why didn't
You
you
don't
say
say
that?"
anything.
She actually told me about it before she even told the guys about
Right.
it. Because I looked at her and I was like, okay. I said, well, I'm not behind you. I'm gonna be in
Yeah.
front of you because I didn't want to be behind her.
Yeah, and so to put this all in perspective a little bit, because you might feel a little confused, but what was going on was there was things happening to the team that the other team members did not know about.
Right.
Did not know about as we were going in.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, on the way in, I was the last one with the camera. I had the camera right here, and
Yeah.
I was walking, sideways. I didn't see anything, and I kept on looking behind me. But at one point, the stick, the whole extension, was pushed forward. And I turned around.
Now was that because I came in behind you earlier?
in the
When
very
was
beginning.
in the very beginning? Yeah.
But something in my,
Because I separated from you too.
And
It was
I'm
a great
thinking-
distance.
I'm losing it here. And I'm thinking, okay, did I bump something? But no, it's like something
Pushed.
pushed the stick. So my arm went forward. And I looked, and
Of course, you see nothing. you know.
nothing. I'm like,
If it would have got caught on a from, it would have pulled it back.
no, but it was on the trail coming in.
Oh, the trail coming in. You
Yes.
were behind us.
Yes, I was the last
Yeah,
one.
Chris and I were in the
It
front.
kind of freaked me out, and so I kept on looking behind me, but there was nothing. So I'm waiting. I was waiting for it to happen again, but it didn't happen again.
I guess
So
maybe-
I'm like a little spooked.
Maybe
but
in
I'm not-
the trail, I should
Go to do the real.
do the rear, even when we're coming in on the main trail.
It was on the
Because
side
normally
trail.
I don't.
It was on the side
On that
trail.
side trail. Okay.
So just because
Thank you,
he's gonna say, why
Kayada.
did you not say anything? Because in my head I'm still analyzing
And
if
you
I
do
can
that,
if
and
I
you
can duplicate it somehow.
duplicate. Okay. Just point the camera behind me. Did you hear that, Chris? It was making a lot of racket. Yeah. Back behind me again. What are you looking at, Chris?
Feathers.
Oh,
Highlighting. Oh, I didn't even push record. Even push record. Wow, that's a lot.
stopped to take a leak, and I heard it wasn't a dog. Woof, right over, very faint, but right over in that area. I'm going to turn it fast, right there. I know you can't see anything, but sometimes when you stop to relieve yourself, something happens. No. What do you have soft in there? Yeah, I'm looking for marbles now. I don't see any marbles.
I can pull some out of my ear if you want.
Yeah, there should be a pack of marbles. There you go.
There you go. Graceful fall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all them sound effects, Mark.
They're old man sound effects, okay?
We all have them.
You
Okay,
just
so
busted the slingshot.
I just broke this slingshot.
Oh well,
Oh,
that's okay. We'll
Chris,
replace
I
the
broke
rubber.
it.
The rubber probably got.
the rubber broke. So,
Can you
Tie a knot.
tie the? Yeah, tie a knot and see.
They'll probably slip through it.
what the heck? It's rotted. The rubber's
That's
really
not cool.
rotted, and even if I
Was
tied
that not
it
a
there,
present
it's-
from Penny?
Yeah.
We gotta just replace the
Yeah,
the rubber
thing.
part.
we have a flute in there. You could play the flute.
I don't know if I have the flute with me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
there's.
starting to
Oh.
stretch right there.
Let me put it in the back.
It's breaking right there also.
Yeah. It wouldn't last long.
Slingshot bit the dust.
Funny how your slingshot broke, huh?
And there's this.
Go ahead, Mark. Do your
No!
thing. Go ahead.
They respond better to a woman. Here, let me
You are
put that
very
in the back
funny
of this.
today.
Huh?
Very funny today.
You think I'm not joking? I can't play this thing.
Well, it's not about the musical medley. It's about just noise. Other sides. Turn it.
We need to have you go off by yourself.
Okay,
No,
let me
that
go right over there. Okay? I'm going to
Mark.
go over there.
Mark, the mouthpiece I think is upside down. Yeah,
Is
you.
it supposed to be like that?
Yeah,
But
no,
then the
turn.
holes are down.
No. Turn the mouthpiece. There you go. Thank you.
I'm going to go right over here by myself and make some noise.
Alrighty, you do that. I think he's doing a wonderful job.
If I didn't know any better, I think he had flute lessons in school.
I know. He sounds great.
He's hiding.
An airplane.
Good job on the flute.
He is. I'm going to recommend for him to be the FLIR from now on. I hear nothing. Not a knock, not a nothing. Hey, good job. You sure you didn't practice at home?
No, it won't.
Because it sounded great. It really did.
Yeah. There's something way out there. Almost like past where we were at last week.
Yeah.
Way out there. That's the only
Did
thing.
you hear stuff?
Yeah, way out twice. Way out that way. So I turned and blew it out back that way, but it's way far away.
I said it's very
Hurricane
quiet
started.
over here.
There's nothing up close. Yes, twice. Did you hear it, Betty? I heard it. Two.
Right after I did mine.
Right after he did his. Right back there where I heard the whoop, where I heard the bark. Here. Here. Look at that. Stay on it. I think you were filming one, stay on it.
I want to say I just hit the record button, but I don't know if I have it.
Right after I did mine, that was bizarre. It was almost like
Yeah, it was at like a low. Oop.
Clap twice. And have the camera on, of course. In that area where I heard, and I documented the woof, we heard two claps, didn't we, Chris? Or two something.
two somethings. Right after I did mine.
Right after.
And mine, you could not have heard my two claps more than 100 yards, maybe. I didn't clap that hard.
If we want to do it again, just do it again.
Went like,
Yeah.
like that. It wouldn't go more than 100 yards, if that.
Yeah. Like a woman, like. There you go, $6,000.
Back in our
Back in
possession.
Chris.
Yep.
Okay, so Mark, did Chris tell you about the Trail to Bigfoot channel? About our equipment?
Yes.
About Amazon?
Go to Amazon, yes.
Yes, you go to the Trail to Bigfoot and we have a certain store. What all the equipment, what we use, what we
Right.
purchased on Amazon. We still got to put more on it, but
He showed it to me. It's awesome, really. If you have any questions about what
we
we're,
use, yeah.
what we're using, and even down to the small items,
Yeah, on T-shirts because
our T-shirts,
yeah.
the cameras, the batteries,
The
the
snake
recorders,
boots.
snake boots, backpacks,
That's right.
our thermocells. It's all there.
Even
and-
the insect repellent we use.
Yes, and
Yep.
because people ask us, what about this, what about that? And we can just point them now to the store. They can look at it, and if it's right for them, they can purchase it right there.
Right.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I figured out.
Yeah.
I just thought about it when I saw him with the
And-
FLIR.
And basically, like I said, it was a response, and our viewers don't know that. We get a lot of requests about our equipment. And, Chris just can't answer everything. So now we can just say, it's over there on our Amazon page, Amazon store, and you can look at it all. You can look at
Right.
all of it. I will say this about Chris. He uses good quality equipment, and we don't come out here with junk, and I appreciate that about him.
Okay.
All right.
So, that's it, everybody. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you guys, or can't see the viewers, but we'll hear from you later. All right, bye.